Hey, what's up guys? It's Matt here at ubj.com, and once again we're back here for part 2 of Gina's ear stretching journey. So last time we took Gina from nothing all the way up to 12 gauge, and once again I'm just going to reiterate, we did skip some sizes that first stretch, but that's okay, it's the first stretch. The reason for that is just because everything's so small that you can kind of get away with skipping a few sizes and not doing any real damage to the ear. But now we're actually kind of stepping up into the little bit bigger sizes, okay? So today we're gonna be going from a 12 gauge to a 10 gauge. Now, I think it's been 5 or 6 weeks now, I think that's right. So, you know, I always say like a month in between stretches, so we're a little bit longer than a month, which is perfect. You know, the longer the better, always. And, you know, Gina's been saying that as of lately, you know, when she sleeps and everything, she wakes up and her plugs have fallen out of her ear. That's a really good indicator that you're actually ready to go up to the next size. With, you know, a single flare plug, which is what I definitely recommend you stretch with always, you're gonna have a flare on the front part of the plug, all right? Now that flare is always one size bigger than what your actual plug is. If that flare pulls all the way through your ear, then you pretty much don't know you can get the next size up plug in your ear. Okay? With Gina, for example, right now she has these 12 gauge single flare eyelets in her ear, okay? You're gonna have to turn your head this way a bit. Now, that front flare of that single flare eyelet is actually a 10 gauge, okay? Now, when I grab the jewelry, I'm gonna just gently pull it to the back, and it comes through your ear really, really easy. Now we know we can pretty much get a single flare 10 gauge plug in there really easily, okay? We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So here I just kind of hold the plug, give it a gentle little tug. This one's a little tighter, but it definitely came through just as easy, okay? So Gina's ears are perfect. They're definitely ready to go to 10 gauge. What we're gonna do right now is we're gonna try and bump Gina's ears up to that 10 gauge, okay? There's 2 ways to go about it, all right? The best, most ideal way to go about this is to take the single flare plug, the 10 gauge plug, and lube it up, and it should just slide into her ear, okay? No taper necessary, all right? That's ideal. We're gonna try that first. If that doesn't work, then we'll actually take the taper and we'll use the taper to gently bump her up to that 10 gauge. Everybody's ears have a looser and a tighter side, okay? And you know, there's so many variables that cause you to have a looser side and a tighter side. Everything from maybe you sleep on that side more than the other, or just, you know, we're not robots or machines, so skin and the human body's gonna react differently on both sides. Right now, from talking with Gina, this is definitely her looser side. And you know, when I took those 12 gauge plugs out just a second ago, that side definitely felt tighter to me, and you know, she also confirmed that that's her tighter side. So we're gonna start with the looser side first, and what we're gonna do, take our single flare eyelet here, and have a little bit of lube here, and put this on the back of my glove. Lube always being water-based, whether it's a water-based lotion or KY or any water-based lube. We're gonna kind of grease up this plug here, and I'm just gonna set it on her ear. And we're gonna see if this slides in. I'm not putting any excessive pressure on there or anything, I'm just gently pushing it in there, and that actually just slid in really nicely. So that's a perfect stretch right there. No tapers necessary, just the single flare 10 gauge eyelet just slid right in there like butter. No problems whatsoever, no resistance whatsoever. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and put the O-ring on the back of the plug here. And there it is. We just bumped her up from 12 gauge to a 10 gauge, very simply. That was ideal. Now we're gonna move on to the other side. All right guys, so as we said before, this is Gina's tighter side. So what we're gonna do, first off, we're gonna try once again to slide this plug in there just by itself. So I'm gonna kind of lube up the single flare plug. I'm gonna gently set it in her ear. I'm gonna see if it just slides in on its own with no resistance. Now I'm definitely feeling some resistance, okay? So I'm not gonna force that. I don't wanna cause any unnecessary tears in her ear or any unnecessary damage for that matter. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take us a taper. This is a 10 gauge taper, okay? I'm gonna actually set this inside of her ear. Then I'm gonna take my 10 gauge single flare eyelet. I'm gonna actually butt it up against the jewelry. And then Gina, I'm gonna have you do a really big deep breath in for me, and exhale. I'm gonna gently slide that all the way through, one continuous motion. And there it is, slid in very, very easily. Last step, we're just gonna go ahead and pop this little O-ring on the back. And that's it right there. So 12 gauge to 10 gauge. All right, so there you have it. We just took Gina's ears from a 12 gauge to a 10 gauge, and everything went really, really smooth, and that wasn't ideal stretch on both sides. Okay? And you know, you guys stay tuned, and hopefully we'll see you guys for part 3, where we're gonna take Gina from a 10 gauge to an 8 gauge. We're gonna do that in around a month and a half, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Whenever Gina lets me know she's ready and her ears seem like they're ready, we're gonna go for it. You know, one last thing, I just wanna put out a quick little disclaimer. This isn't necessarily an instructional or how-to video. Definitely, if you need help with this and you're not feeling 100% confident in it, go seek out a professional piercer. They're gonna do this way better, way quicker, way easier, and way healthier for your earlobe than you're probably gonna be able to do at home on your own, okay guys? So don't hesitate, seek out that professional help. But then again, you know, I'm gonna put out more of these videos, and if you feel confident and it feels like, you know, your ears are loose enough, you can do this on your own, of course, go for it, you know, but don't take any chances, don't push anything or don't damage anything. So thanks for watching, guys, and I really look forward to the next video segment where we get to take Gina from a 10 gauge to an 8 gauge.